What's up guys? Good morning. It is 4:18 in the morning. We are heading to the Tsukiji Fish Market, which is where some of the best fish in the entire world comes from. I believe that we'll make it there in time to go to a tuna auction and an uni auction. So let's go. We're in a room full of uni. A room of uni. Now we're in a room full of tuna. Which is super cool. The giant warehouse full of frozen tuna. Now we're in a parking lot, but it's really like this amazing view over the fish market. Check it out. What's up guys, it's Danica. So we just got back from the fish market and I've had a little bit more breakfast because one omakase was not enough for this morning. Anyway, so in yesterday's video, I promised I would talk to you guys a little bit about what I did 20 years ago when I was in Tokyo last. And what's so crazy to me, I was texting with my friend about this, how I can't believe we're at the age, me and like a lot of my friends, we're at the age where we can actually say, oh, the last time I was there was 20 years ago. And I wasn't like a little kid when I came here 20 years ago. Like I was like a grown-up. I wasn't like of drinking age or anything, but I was still like, I was in college, you know? So it was such a totally different time. But oh, I wanted to share this with you before I talk about my Japan story. One of the things I've worked really, really hard on over the past few months has finally come together and it has finally been published on Food and Wine, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because I am so proud of it. This is called First Generation Thanksgiving. And this in editorial, in media, is what we call like a package. So a package is usually like 4 big stories. This one happens to be 5. So First Generation Thanksgiving is a concept that I've wanted to put together for years and years and years. Like at so many places I've worked at a lot of places, both in fashion and in food and in lifestyle. I've wanted to do a first generation package for years, for at least, I would say at least 4 or 5 years. But editorial packages aren't easy to do because not only do you need the human power to put the packages together, in this case, writers, editors, the time, video producers, video editors, like the travel money. There's just a huge amount of money that goes into producing pieces of content. Putting together like a really robust editorial package with stories, with like photo essays, with videos that are really done beautifully, it's very expensive. And I haven't been able to get this off the ground for a long time. But this year, I pitched it again because it's such a passion project for me. I'm an immigrant. I moved to the United States when I was 5 years old with my family. My whole family became American before I was American. My brother and sister were born in the United States. My parents became naturalized citizens, and I was a foreigner for the longest amount of time, but I didn't become an American citizen until I think 2000 or 2001. And yeah, I think like there's something very, very important about the immigrant experience, about the first generation experience. That is a lot more than what you see in the news. It really is a big part of my identity, and so it was really important for me to try to explore that, especially around Thanksgiving, which I think is the most all-American holiday, especially in terms of food. And now that I work at Food and Wine, it was such a natural fit. Anyway, we had a great partner sponsor in Ford, the car company. They were looking for editorial to buy advertising against. It's very, I mean, when people buy advertising against editorial on websites and stuff, it's just like when people buy, like when companies buy commercials on TV. So basically they were looking for an editorial package they felt aligned with their values and the idea of everything that Ford stands for. And they really liked this package, and so they sponsored every last penny it cost to produce this package. And I am so proud that it came to fruition. Honestly, like, it would be so great if you want, please go check it out. I'll leave the link down in the description box. The videos are so moving. I haven't been able to watch the videos without like tearing up. It's just so moving because it's not really just about the immigrant experience. It's about the family experience. It's about multiple generations. It's about learning things from your parents and your moms and your dads, and like what it means to be American, but also what it means to sit around a table and have a connection to something that's greater than yourself. So I thought I would talk a little bit about what I was doing in Japan the last time I was here. I think the last time I was in Japan, I was here for an entire month, and I was mostly in Tokyo and on the outskirts of Tokyo. And then I spent, I think, a week in Kyoto, and the year was 1998. And I was in college. The circumstances of me coming to Japan were not that interesting, to be honest. I had spent a semester interning at a big law firm in New York City. And if you ever want to see what law is like, what litigation is like, or what corporate law is like, and you're looking to make like a little bit of money as an undergrad doing an internship, law firms are the place to get internships. You get paid quite a lot of money as an undergraduate. And you get to see the actual inner workings of a law firm, which was very enlightening to me. So after I interned at the law firm, I felt like I wanted to do something different. I had like the summer off, and so I was thinking about going to volunteer at an orphanage in Siberia. Now, when I was in college, and I've done a lot less of this after college, I used to spend a lot of money and time like dedicated to volunteering. I spent 2 spring breaks during college working at Mother Teresa Center in Jamaica, in Kingston. Mother Teresa Center, if you don't know, in Jamaica specifically, it functions as basically a hospice for the elderly and the dying, the needy, people who have nowhere else to go. It gives them a place to live. There are nurses there, and there are nuns who volunteer. Like there are people there who take care of people who need it. So I spent a couple of spring breaks doing that, and I spent 2 summers volunteering at a special needs school in England. And then instead of going to Siberia the summer of 1998, my parents didn't feel like it was safe, and so we had this huge talk. I was gonna pay to go to Siberia with the money I'd made working at a law firm, and my parents said to me, if you don't go to Siberia, we'll pay for your trip to Japan instead. Because my parents they really like Japan. They've always, like, you know, come to Tokyo. My dad really likes it. It's really safe here, and especially in like the late 90s. It just felt like, you know, probably was safer back then for a young girl to go to on her own. So I ended up coming to Tokyo, and I spent 2 or 3 weeks volunteering at a special needs group home on the outskirts of Tokyo. It was an adult group home, so it was special needs adults. And what we would do is, I think the center taught them a lot of job skills, but also brought them into the community and, like, you know, the special needs adults would work on farms, and so as volunteers we would go to the farms and like help them work on farms. And then we did a project where we like chopped down a bunch of bamboo, stuff like that, like community work basically, that was, you know, collaborative community work. It was really, really rewarding. I really, really enjoyed it. I think I had like 10 days after the program before going back to the States, and so I spent a little bit of time in Kyoto, which I absolutely loved. I visited so many shrines and temples. It was so beautiful. I mean, it's just one of my favorite places. And then I spent some time in Tokyo hanging out with some of my friends from the volunteer project. So that's what I was doing in Tokyo the last time I was here. And obviously it was like a very different experience, because if you come to Tokyo as a college student, it's actually quite hard. Tokyo is quite expensive. My parents have always been super supportive, of course, like they helped me like pay for the trip. But it was just like a different time, and it was a different place. And I feel like Tokyo was also a different sort of city at the time. The world was different. This was before Google. This is before iPhones. This is before Google Maps. Like I had like a Lonely Planet and maybe like a rough guide, and everyone was staying at the same hotels and like same hostels, because that's all you knew. It's what was like these 10 places that were printed in like a book that everybody in the entire world bought in different translations. It was just a totally different time. And at the time, I remember there were no English words or even like transliterations on street signs or on subway signs. And so I could read a little bit of Chinese at the time because I had taken a few years of it in college and I'd grown up speaking it. So I could figure out what things meant, but it was really, really challenging getting around. It was really exciting, I guess, but I didn't necessarily feel like I was having my full experience. Anyway, so it's been 20 years since I've been here in Tokyo, and I guess now I've only been here for like less than 24 hours, so I can't wait to see what this week brings. I'm gonna really just focus this week on doing the things that I really want to do. So mostly that just means eating a lot of really great food, because obviously I care very deeply about really, really good food. I'm gonna go try to explore the Japanese cocktail scene a little bit. Japan makes some of the best spirits and liquors in the world. And I think I'm also gonna do some stuff that just feels like gratuitous fun. For me, I love cute things that have no point and are probably not age appropriate. Like I would love to go to like Disneyland Tokyo, but I don't think I have time to do it. It's a little bit hard to get to for me, and I'm also not staying there. I'm staying in the center of the city, but I am gonna try to go to the Sanrio theme park, and I'm gonna do like one semi-meaningful day trip. I didn't get to go to Mount Fuji when I was here last. I did take the Shinkansen train, which is that super fast bullet train that goes right past Mount Fuji when I was here 20 years ago, but I didn't stop to look at it. I didn't take any pictures. I didn't go to like any observation points. So I'm gonna try to do it this time. And yeah, so I'm gonna do a day trip to Mount Fuji this time, and maybe go like, you know, on a boat or something. So that's my plan. I'm so tired right now. I think I'm gonna take a nap. You can probably tell that I'm tired because I'm just like rambling. I've been rambling now for like 15 minutes. I'm gonna take a nap, and then I'm gonna meet some of my friends for lunch. I think we're gonna go for ramen, and then this afternoon, I don't know if I'm gonna go to the spa or if I'm gonna try to be ambitious and go outside and do stuff, but I definitely think I need a Starbucks, because this tea, while it's delicious, is not really cutting it for me. It is keeping me warm though. It's a little bit cold today. Anyway, I will see you guys later. We're getting ramen for lunch, and I'm so tired. Look at my eye bag. But I'm excited to eat lunch. Hey guys, it's just coming up on 6 o'clock, and I came back from lunch. The drive was so long back from lunch because the traffic was insane, and it was pouring rain. So I'm glad I came back after lunch instead of like going shopping because it started raining really hard. Anyway, so we got back here at like 3:30. I immediately just passed out because I really only got like 3 hours of sleep last night, and we spent like all morning at the fish market, and then we had like all the stuff to do. And I passed out for like an hour and a half, woke up, like did not know where I was at 5 o'clock when my alarm went off. And yeah, I'm glad I managed to like get out of bed, and I like washed my face and put on new makeup. Now we're gonna go to dinner. Apparently there's a really big pizza scene here in Tokyo, and I'm kind of excited to try it, but I really need to wake up. So I'm gonna hope there's like a Diet Coke in the mini fridge or something. All right, let's go. I'm so excited. Hopefully it's not raining outside too. I have no idea. I can't really see the weather from my window. Let's go.